For the next 24 hours, we'll be flying in the world's best business class.
An aeroplane seat more luxurious than you could ever imagine.
I can't believe it.
But flying in the Qatar Airways Qsuite can be extremely expensive.
£120 an hour.
However, we think we've found a way to experience the 5-star dining, crazy airport lounges, and a double bed in the sky for a fraction of the cost.
We're on a mission to eat, drink, and experience more value than the price of the flight itself, to see if we can make a profit.
And hopefully we'll discover an aviation unlimited money glitch.
Or maybe we'll lose thousands of dollars.
Good morning from Manchester Airport. Today is a huge day because we are going to be trying to make a profit from the world's best business class flight. I'm very excited because this is a bucket list moment for me, but I am also a little apprehensive because we have tried this once before on the world's cheapest business class flight and we did manage to make a profit. So I want 2 for 2. Do you reckon we're going to be able to do it?
I think this is going to be tough. We haven't made it easy for ourselves.
But before we tell you the price, the first exciting thing is about to happen.
We're about to drop our bag at the business class queue. That feels fancy. Good morning.
But as we approached the check-in desk, we had no idea something amazing was about to happen.
So Qatar is one of the only airlines in the world that has a double bed in the sky. When we arrived to the airport, we were not sat in those seats because they were fully booked. But I asked at check-in.
I had a question as well about our tickets.
We've got the double bed on the second flight. I actually cannot believe it.
But we couldn't let this touch of luck distract us.
The bags are dropped. Let's now head through security.
Because every minute counts, and we had some very serious business to attend to.
We're travelling from Manchester to Seoul in South Korea with a stopover in Doha. And this flight cost £5,800 for the both of us.
That's £2,900 each, which actually works out at £120 an hour.
But it wasn't mission impossible because there were 4 stages of this journey where we could find value. We had 2 airport lounges, one of which was inside the world's best airport, and we had 2 long-haul flights, the second of which is rated as the world's best business class seat. But still,
for 24 hours, we have to find £120 of value each every hour. So we have no time to waste. So let's get to the lounge. So to make this more interesting, if we manage to make a profit from this flight today, we will be staying in a 5-star hotel in Seoul.
That's because we've partnered with hotels.com for this video, and they have a pretty awesome selection of 5-star properties available in Seoul and loads of other countries.
However, if we don't make a profit from this flight, we are going to be staying in a capsule hotel when we get to Seoul.
When you book certain places on hotels.com, you earn 1 key cash. You can either save it up to get a free stay in the future, or just use it next time you book to make your stay a little cheaper. Not that you can get much cheaper than this capsule hotel.
Which is quite frankly the last place I want to be after a 24-hour travel day.
Whatever your budget, make sure you check out hotels.com when you're next traveling. And
fingers crossed, we managed to pull a rabbit out of a hat.
So with a daunting task set and a looming consequence of sleeping in a room with 30 other people,
We're making our way to the first lounge. I'm not sure I have huge expectations for this.
and as we approached, we hit our first stumbling block.
There is a big queue for the lounge. Every minute that we spend in this queue is a minute that we are losing out.
But fortunately, the hold-up was just because they were still using paper and pen to check people in. And before we knew it, we were inside, and Jade's initial reservations evaporated.
This lounge is extremely nice.
And despite the view out of the window,
A classic Manchester day.
the first stop of 4 today had a hefty range of free food. Drinks fridges that were full to the brim, and an impressive free pour bar with loads of choice. And if you're not into buffet food, there was also the option to order a la carte.
But the best part is the dessert and pastry section.
Yes, please.
I've ordered avocado because I think it's the most expensive vegetable, and Ryan has ordered poached eggs on toast.
Is avocado a vegetable?
Don't know.
I have a feeling we're going to be eating and drinking a lot today because that's the main source of our value. Lounge 1, glass 1. This isn't actually champagne, this is Prosecco. It's not quite as luxurious as we need it to be. but I think things will change.
What do you think is the most expensive drink on the menu?
You might also be wondering, how are we pricing things today? Well, we were on a flight to America recently, and we were shocked to find out that now on long-haul transatlantic flights in economy, they actually charge you for beverages. They used to be all included. So we are going to take Aer Lingus' drinks menu, and that is how we're going to be pricing everything that we consume today.
Talking of Irish alcohol, at this point I decided to make an early lunge to get some much needed value on the board.
It is 7:05. I've just free poured myself a Baileys because I thought this might be the most acceptable drink for this time of the day, but now looking at it, I might be regretting my decision.
And whilst recovering from my George Best lifestyle choices, Jade was really letting the side down.
I don't want to ruin my appetite in here and not enjoy the food on the plane. I'm in this weird place right now where I'm holding back in the lounge, and this could come back to bite us.
At £120 an hour, we are going to have to make up some serious cash. There's no way all of this stuff is £120. We are behind.
So with one last squeeze of value from Manchester's airport lounge,
One more for the road.
it was time to board the flight and head to our first stop of the day, Qatar, in the Middle East.
This is where the bucket list moments start.
But whilst we walk to the gate, let's explain why we're doing this.
Every video we've ever made has always been about budget travel.
Even if the flight leaves at 4 in the morning, we will be on it because it's £10 cheaper.
If there's one flight in the world that I would pay extra for, it would be to have a double bed in the sky with Qatar.
Double bed on a plane.
So we have saved up for this moment, and this is the exception to the rule.
This couldn't be any more different to Ryanair if we tried.
From a single bed
In my childhood bedroom,
to a double bed in the sky.
as we wandered to our gate, we'd hardly chipped anything off our total. And as we were about to board a 6.5 hour flight, the stakes were only getting higher.
I can't do the maths that quickly on that, but it's a lot of value. This will be the best business class I've ever been in, but it's not the best I'll be in today, if that makes sense.
As we stepped on board, we were not quite ready for how nice this plane ride was going to be.
This is a far cry from a Ryanair plane.
It's time to say hello to my neighbour. Wonder who they are. Oh God.
Does it go any lower?
Thank you very much. That didn't take long. Pre-flight champagne. What would this cost on Aer Lingus?
Mr. Captain, cabin crew, armed doors for departure, aircraft check.
With expensive champagne flowing and the moist Manchester clouds looking like a distant memory, as we took off, we suddenly realised how amazing our plane seat was.
This is genuinely even better than I thought it was going to be. I can't believe it. It's not even like we're on a plane.
Jade doesn't really need much legroom, but if she ever did, this would be the seat for her.
Jade is booting off the Thames. Yeah.
And the seats are fully enclosed, which means you have almost full privacy from any other passengers.
They're so private. It's like we're in our own room. I also asked the flight attendant if this is the Qsuite, because it's so good I assumed it must be, and it isn't. So I'm even more excited about the next flight now. But I don't want to wish this one away.
We chose to sit in the middle because although you don't get a window, if you're travelling with someone, you can enjoy it together by lowering the divider.
You can put it up on your own, but to lower it, both sides have to be pressing the button. It's the little things, like the phone charger is an actual madness. There's so many buttons as well.
But although these seats were nice to have,
Heaven is a place on earth, guys.
and there was some value hidden in the cubby holes, the seat itself doesn't get us any closer to our mission of making a profit.
Just to be clear, if you can do it in economy, we're not getting any value. Watching a movie, for example, even though the TV is bigger, you can do that in economy.
Do you know what you don't get in economy? A door for your seat.
But despite Jade feeling worryingly too comfortable in her new surroundings,
I feel at home. I feel like I don't ever want to fly Ryanair again.
we needed to stay focused. So I decided to head to the toilet to see if there was any hidden treats up for grabs.
I am back from my first trip to the bog.
It's felt like you've been to a spa.
My findings were there is a very nice smelling Diptyque facial spray.
Facial spray.
It's given me an idea, but I'll have to implement it a little later. I also found some toothbrush and toothpaste.
But besides dental kits, Jade had spotted something we really weren't used to seeing.
There is a fruit bowl with fresh grapes.
3 out of 5 people don't wash their hands when they go to the bathroom. I would never eat that fruit.
It's a bit like peanuts at a bar.
But there was one thing I spotted on the way home from the loo that would change our life forever.
There is a red rope between us and economy. It's the first time in my life I've been the right side of the red rope.
One foolproof way of getting your money's worth on a flight like this is quaffing expensive alcohol.
It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it.
The house champagne was Charles Heidsieck, which, if you do your shopping at Fortnum & Mason, would cost you £66 a bottle. But we had our eye on the most expensive alcohol on offer, which was Duval Leroy. At £73 a bottle, each glass in this setting was easily worth £25. So we wasted no time in using our call bell.
We are now going to put this to the test and see how long it takes them to come when I press the buzzer. Okay, I pressed it. Is that the Guinness World Book of Records? 9 seconds.
I was a bit embarrassed because I was still putting the timer on when she came, and I think she saw me do it.
The Usain Bolt type service meant that throughout the flight, we were able to order all sorts of drinks, from smoothies to coffees to waters, and most importantly, we did some extreme quaffing. In order to soak up all of this expensive booze, we needed to make sure we ate. The food was another way to claw back some of the money we'd spent on the flight. But after quite a few glasses of bubbly, I needed to really concentrate on composing myself.
Can I get the smoothie? Could I also get some cornflakes and the Spanish omelette? Could I also get a big croissant as well? Thank you so much.
It's not like being on a Ryanair flight where they slap a lasagna on the fold-down tray. There's a tablecloth. They put this fancy napkin onto my knee. I've got a candle. There's a candle. There's value in this candle. I just can't believe that we're here. But this is crazy. It's like being in a restaurant.
When we stayed at the Fairmont in Monaco to get room service cornflakes, it was €19.
No, this can't be right. I'm not making these up. This is real.
I'm putting this down as €19. To the good.
I have never been on an aeroplane before where you get given a basket of pastries. Any coffee shop in Manchester, this would cost like £10, surely.
But even with the food and drink, we needed to think outside of the box if we were going to make a profit. And although we had a trick up our sleeve for later in the journey, Jade had started to think on her feet.
The salt and pepper grinders are quite nice. They're quite weighty, so I'm thinking, what's the value in these? I mean, the more that I think and look at them, the more that these are coming home with me.
I'm going to do it.
And then we discovered a real game changer.
There is a second half to this menu, which is anytime dining, and there's a steak on there. And I think that you can order off that menu whenever you want on the flight.
The golden rule is you have to always order the most expensive thing on the menu. And that is why I'm having steaks on a plane.
That is good, really good.
And after devouring 2 steaks at 30,000 feet, in terms of finding value, we were on a roll.
On Emirates, we actually had to ask for the amenity kit because the flight was so short.
Do you have any amenity kits?
But because the flight is longer, we actually got the amenity kit as we sat down. It was already on our seat. I'm not totally up to speed with all of the luxury, moisturizer brands, but I do know Diptyque. I know it's expensive, and I know it smells hella good. Body lotion, face lotion, don't really know what the difference is, because they're both part of your body. Lip balm, earbuds, mask for sleeping, and then I think this is a fragrance. Oh, that's lovely.
And just when you think things couldn't get any better,
Newsflash. I have just seen a bloke walking up and down the cabin in F1 Qatar pajamas. I have been to many F1 merch stores, and you can't get any change out of £100 in there. This is a high ticket item, guys. My immediate thought was I need them and I need them now. So I'm going to request them.
Hello. I was wondering, would I be able to get an iced coffee? Also, another quick question. Do you do pyjamas?
Might be the only man that's ever ordered a coffee and pyjamas at the same time. This may be the highest ticket item of them all. Branded F1 pyjamas.
But you'll have to wait till the second flight to see them on. Oh, and also, please subscribe.
Premium slippers.
We have got about an hour and a half left on this flight. We're not even halfway through the journey though. We still have a long layover in Doha and an 8-hour flight to Seoul ahead.
So at this stage, with a hefty amount still in the kitty, you might be thinking you are definitely sleeping in a dormitory tonight. But when booking our flights, it was £1,000 cheaper per person to have a longer layover. So wait until you hear just how long we have to earn back our flight price.
We have now touched down in Doha in Qatar. This is where we are transferring and we actually have 9 hours here. You're invited to indulge in the many experiences of the orchard. We will be indulging.
Or so we thought. After what was definitely the best flight we'd ever had.
How much better is the next one going to be?
I don't know how you can top that.
We were expecting great things from the world's best airport.
You don't get the title world's best airport if you don't have things to do.
But on initial impressions, we were very disappointed. Despite the impressive art installations, the majority of things to do in this airport were looking around shops where we couldn't afford anything.
For the everyday Joe, who isn't going to shop at Louis Vuitton and Hermes, like, is there actually anything to do here?
And although we found a couple of interesting things,
this is a bronze playground. We've also seen a sky train, which looks pretty fun.
Most of the things worth doing cost extra.
A shower for 10 minutes cost 80 kwa, which is about £17.
So spending 9 hours in this airport would be a very long day. But with the business class tickets, you do get access to another airport lounge. So it was time to see exactly what was included.
It's called the Mourjan Lounge Garden. Let's see what it's like. I would pay a lot of money just to come into this lounge. It is a utopia. There are water fountains, there are seats everywhere. It is quiet, besides me talking to this camera. There is every drink you can possibly imagine. There's a la carte food, there's a buffet, there's a games room with PS5s in.
EA Sports, it's in the game.
But there was one amenity which really caught my interest.
I have just been to the gym. The last thing I expected to be doing today was a little treadmill workout. This is wild. If you want to go to the gym inside Doha Airport, you can do without being in business class, but you do have to pay for it. So it's $55 per person to do that outside of the business class lounge.
And of course, by going to the gym, there's more added benefits.
I've used the shower, I've got a load more shower gels and shampoos stocked in my bag.
So even if I am staying in a capsule hotel tonight, I'm going to be the best smelling guy in the place. But that's kind of freed up some room for some more food and some more alcohol.
Hello. I have a quick question. What do you think is the most expensive drink on the menu?
So everything is complimentary.
But in terms of like the value of the drink, I just want like the most expensive drink possible.
They suggested that this was the most expensive drink in the house. It is Glenlivet. But they also paired this with something extremely special that I wasn't expecting. And I don't think this is on the menu. Check this out. I've got caviar. What a peculiar taste. It's like fish, subtle fish. I've just Googled how much a double Glenlivet would cost in an average bar. And Google's told me that it's anywhere between $35 to $45. We're living out here. Oh, Jade's got something.
Crisps, and the flavour is hot and sweet.
Easily £1.50. I've said this before, and I'll probably say this again. You have to go for the highest ticket items, and that is exactly what I've ordered. Wasabi. Whatever you say about this challenge, you can't say we didn't try. I'm about to tuck into my second steak of the day. We are really throwing the kitchen sink at this.
But even so, we were still tracking behind the £120 an hour we needed.
So as it stands, we are looking down the barrel of a capsule hotel when we land in Seoul, which is not ideal because after a 24-hour travel day,
I need a good night's sleep. But it's not over until the fat lady sings.
We've still got a few hours left in here. We've still got 8.5 hours left on a flight. Is it doable? I think so.
That being said, we do have 2 sneaky aces up our sleeves that we're going to try and activate, but they're both long shots.
We have brought the cabin crew some treats, some British treats, because we've heard that if the cabin crew are on your side, they might give you a free upgrade. That would mean we would get upgraded from a business class suite to a first class seat. And if this trick that we have up our sleeve works, we will complete this challenge easily. So fingers crossed this works.
The odds are stacked against us, but the odds have been stacked against us since we got on the first flight, since we arrived at the airport in Manchester. So there's no change there. Our gate has been called B6. That's where we're heading. We're about to board the most luxurious business class seat in the sky, the Qsuite on Qatar Airlines or Qatar Airways. I don't know, I've been awake for a long time now. This is going to be good.
It had all been leading up to this. From a single bed in my childhood bedroom to getting to experience the only double bed in the sky. But would it live up to my expectation? And would it be worth all of the money we paid? Well, before we found out, we had some jammy dodgers to deliver.
There's nothing more British than a jammy dodger.
I'm getting nervous about giving them the biscuits because they might think this is quite weird. We bought you a present from the UK as well for when you're on your break.
Oh, very sweet of you. Thank you.
No
very
problem.
much.
The handover went smoothly, and as we boarded the plane, we were shown to our seats, and all that was running through my head was play it cool.
John, this is nuts.
Who's John?
Anyone is John. You're John, I'm John, he's John, Uncle John. I can officially say I am inside the Qsuite. Crazy. The seats are bigger, there's more privacy, and the service so far has been even better. Because it's a night flight, we have been given pyjamas already, so we're going to go and put them on. BRB. £5,000 pyjamas and slippers. This is sick.
When I put mine on, I looked at myself and I gave myself the ick.
No wonder Jade's got the ick. She's got her trainers on. That is totally and utterly unacceptable. You got given slippers.
I didn't want to take my shoes off in the bathroom.
After all this excitement, we'd momentarily took our eyes off the prize, and we'd forgotten that our jammy dodger mission had failed. Kind of.
We have found out that Qatar Airways don't actually operate a first class service, and on this plane we are in the best seat. You can't get any better, you can't get upgraded.
But apparently they said that they implement first class within the business class across the whole of Qatar.
So the jammy dodger trick was a complete waste of time.
But if sneaky side mission number 1 didn't work, at least we had one final last-ditch attempt to try before the plane landed. But to be able to activate this plan, it was important to stay awake.
We're not going to bed. I'm trying to stay awake for as long as possible,
as we needed to continue to squeeze everything out of this final flight.
The cabin is completely dark for this flight, but we're still getting food, and the first meal has arrived. I've ordered some Korean chicken, and the drinks are flowing. I don't need this because I am very full. I'd say that was a high ticket item again. Oh, hot towels.
After Jade's wet flannel shower, the cabin crew came round and asked if we wanted our double bed made. Seeing as this was the real reason we booked this flight in the first place, we of course said yes.
Welcome to my OnlyFans. I'm worried because how am I ever going to get back on a normal plane? It's ridiculous that some people travel like this all the time.
It's not always the case that something that you've always wanted actually lives up to expectation. But in this case, it was actually better. As we had our picture taken by the air hostess, thoughts of the challenge completely left my mind, which will probably explain what happened next.
Okay, bad news. For the challenge anyway. It all got the better of me. For the vast duration of this flight, I have slept.
And although from Jade's review, missing breakfast wasn't the worst thing in the world.
I know I ordered the Arabic breakfast, I don't know what this is. But it comes with some bread and olives.
We only had 1 hour to swindle as much as possible. So we bagged the second amenity kit of the day.
It's a little different, but exactly the same stuff inside.
Robbed up the toilet drawers of shavers and toothbrushes, and of course, activated Plan B.
We will do whatever it takes to win.
And by this point, we were coming into land.
For your safety, please remain seated with a seatbelt fastened until the aircraft has completely stopped and the seatbelt sign is switched off.
We're in Korea, we're here. That was a 27-hour travel day.
But the big question is, can you make a profit from the world's best business class? And unfortunately, the answer is no, not this time. So that means, despite having almost no sleep for the last 27 hours, we are going to be checking into a capsule hotel. God, I wish it had gone the other way.
So even after taking off the price of an economy flight each, we still didn't manage to claw it back.
Hotel, drip, and drop.
Make sure you go and watch when we actually did manage to do it, and shout out hotels.com for making it so easy to book into this capsule hotel. See you in the next one.